Hi everyone, my name is Emily. It is so exciting to be here with you all today and to be representing the University of Illinois Chicago. Um, so here we go. So a little bit about the University of Illinois Chicago. The university was founded in 1964 at Navy Pier. Originally, it first started as a graduate college, as a community college, sorry, which is, so now our campus is located about 10 kilometers from where we are. We're minutes from downtown, surrounded by various neighborhoods of Pilsen, Greektown, in addition to Little Italy. UIC is known as Chicago's public research university, meaning that we are the only Research One university in Chicago. We have a large commitment to conducting research collaboratively and working with our communities in the Chicago area and beyond. Annually, UIC brings in about $500 million in research funding, and our values across the university are tied to access, vitality, empowerment, and creativity. As you can see on our right, you see Sparky, our mascot. And so we're known as the UIC Flames. And um, yeah, so that's a little bit about UIC. Sorry. Okay. A little bit about our student population. So we are about closer to 36,000 students across the campus. So this means about 8,000 of our students are graduate students, and about 28% of those graduate students identify as international students. So when it comes to UIC graduate programs and our research, we are home to 16 colleges, and across the 16 colleges, we have over 100 masters, and we have about 60 doctoral programs within these colleges. If you scan the QR code or visit go.uic.edu, you can see the range of the various different graduate program offerings that we have here at UIC. So that's something that you could go on and look and then click on the different program links. And then they kind of talk a little bit more about our program specifically. When it comes to some of our research at UIC, we do have a broad range of different research initiatives within and across disciplines, from like computer science to sustainability, bioengineering, health sciences, psychology, education. Our research comes across different fields. And also has various impacts across the economy, on health and wellness, on policy and advancing scientific knowledge. So on the slide, you could kind of see some of the programs and a range of the different labs and initiatives that exist here at UIC. To highlight a couple within urban education, there's research that focuses working with schools, nonprofits, government agencies to improve literacy education. Students work with adults who are working towards their GED or to learn English, work with parents and teachers of autistic children. Within urban planning and public affairs, we have a large focus on various initiatives, but to highlight one is our data visualization. So we really like to use visuals to understand critical urban issues like gentrification, segregation, housing affordability, and more. So we look at those various economic effects and working conditions within the communities in Chicago and also in other cities. Computer science is a nationally ranked program at UIC. And the Electronic Visualization Laboratory was established in 1973. And so this is a large collaboration between the College of Engineering and the School of Art. And so some of the other specializations will focus on also like data mining and cybersecurity, or working with artificial intelligence. Um, and then we have public health, which I think is a big one here at UIC. A lot of our health sciences are. And so they have a lot of different conversations at the local and city and national level. They talk about how health, social determinants of health, including access to food, transportation, exercise. They even do like environmental health research to help impact various policies. And they do have local partnerships across the hospitals, but even within like the Chicago Park District. So they help test like the water daily during the summer to make sure it's safe enough to swim there. So there's different day-to-day practices as well. Um, so as you could kind of start to see the theme, there's a range of different partnerships across the University of Illinois system within local communities, organizations, in addition to partnerships with various labs located in Illinois, like the Argonne National Laboratory, Fermilab, museums, are among some of the collaborations within the community. So here we also have pharmacy, they work with the Great Lakes, like Lake Michigan, to collect bacteria, work with researching plants to find some active molecules to help cure cancer or AIDS or tuberculosis. Sustainability plays a large part within UIC and being able to bring like sustainable practices to the city. So a lot of our programs like Earth and Environmental Sciences, Civil and Materials Engineering, Urban Planning and Policy have a very sustainable focus on how we can bring sustainable materials into our everyday practice and more. Dentistry, we have a range of different oral study researchers that research tooth decay, work with the workforce to address like oral health needs. We do have a dental clinic on campus, and so that works really well to help support various populations across the city in Chicago. And so there's a lot of work that does there in interaction with the local community. Specifically, the biomedical engineering at UIC is housed both within the College of Engineering and the College of Medicine. And it's one of the first biomedical degree granting programs within the nation. So that's just a little bit about some of the research that is happening here at UIC. And so I'll kind of transition into talking more about the application process. So on the screen, you kind of see the graduate and professional head page when to go on the website. You could visit admissions.uic.edu. And so on this website, you could find various information in regards to the academic programs in terms of what do they require, like the numbers of letter of recommendations, if they require any test scores, some of the specific other statement of purpose that they may have you write. And then you could also review specific applicant requirements that I'll talk about a little bit, especially as an international student. And something new for this year, UIC is offering application fee waivers for Garcia Robles Fulbright grantees. So if you are part of this program, you're able to apply to UIC for free. Some of the requirements as an international student from Mexico, we look for 4 or more years of licenciatura or professional title. In terms of academic credentials, we talk about having your official transcript, official certification of degree or el título, your date awarded in Spanish and English. So they have to be translated. You have to submit both the Spanish version and also the translated version in English. And they have to be stamped for the translation. Some of the student life and resources that we have for graduate students at UIC um, is, for one, I want to highlight the International Teaching Assistantship Program. So we work with various international students who come to UIC and who are teaching to help with focus on their improving their English language, their communication, and their teaching skills. We also host a range of various workshops and also social events for these students. The graduate college also does range of different graduate student programming, like our fall welcome picnic, or a graduate groundwork series, which focuses on the graduate school basics. Um, and we also have graduate student appreciation week and a lot more of other events throughout the year. We do have dedicated writing support to help with applying to various grants, and also to apply when you're writing your dissertation. So you could work specifically with two different specialists at the graduate college that will give you one-on-one support. We also have the Office of International Services, and so they provide various forms of support to international students as before coming to UIC as you have that transition, but also during your time at UIC as well. There is an Office of Commuter and Off-Campus Life. So here within the center, there's a range of lockers, microwaves, meeting space that students have access to as an additional meeting space on campus if they would like to. Um, and we also have a big thing on campus is our 7 centers for cultural and social change, like the Rafael Cintron Ortiz Latino Cultural Center. So we do have a range of these centers focusing on like empowering students through various cultural programming, mentorship, and also graduate community collaborations. And lastly, we do have the Graduate Employment Organization, which is a union that the graduate students have to support their time here on campus, and they're constantly advocating for different things on campus, which is important. Um, and a little bit about Chicago. It is a big city. You could see a lot of the buildings kind of behind me as my background. There's a lot to do. I'm from Chicago. I was born here, and I really just enjoy being in the city and being able to take a part of different museums, community organizations. We have a range of different sports teams from like soccer to baseball to basketball. So there's always something to do within the city, and also a lot of different free events, especially within communities, which I really appreciate. Like in Pilsen, there's a community center that does like free art classes or painting classes, things like that. Um, and then we also have access to public transportation, so you don't necessarily need a car to go around the city. You have access to train and buses. So I always think that's helpful when you want to like just kind of walk around and explore, especially the downtown area. That's something that you're able to do. Um, so something to consider if you are planning to apply this fall. I would definitely encourage you to reach out to faculty within your specific program that you might be interested in researching, especially if you're interested in uh, doing a PhD. It's important to connect with faculty to see if they're accepting students, and also just learn more about the kind of research they're doing. But if you are thinking of applying and want to talk more about UIC, living in Chicago, definitely feel free to email me. I'm more than happy to meet with you one-on-one, um, and we could kind of set something up.
So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Look forward to helping you learn a little bit about University of Illinois Springfield. Let me get my slides to advance here. There we go. UIS is the #1 regional public university in the state, whereas we are not highly ranked compared to UIC or UI in Urbana-Champaign. We do have the regional ranking that has been very popular among international students. One of the things that makes us unique is that we're preparing students for workforce work. At least 25% of the students who graduate from UIS are a UIS alum, and this gives great opportunities for networking opportunities and for internships within the community. We also prepare students to learn how to function in this complex and connected world that we live in. So when you finish a UIS program, you're work ready and you're ready to hit the road running. We also help you develop that sense of social responsibility and those transferable work skills that you're going to need when you go out into the workplace. We are accredited, of course, by the Higher Learning Commission, and then our College of Business and Management has secondary accreditation through AACSB as well. Unlike the other two sister universities, our student body is much smaller, 4,600 students for the fall of 2024. 22% of our students are international from 53 different countries, and almost an even split between undergraduate and graduate students. As you look through these slides, prepare your iPhones and your smartphones because I have several QR codes for you to look into at a future date. So we have a lot of clubs and organizations for students to be involved in. We also are part of the NCAA Division II of athletics, and our mascot is our teams are called Prairie Stars. We have many on-campus activities to engage in, but also a lot of off-campus activities. One of the things that you as a student need to decide, first and foremost, is the type of program that you want to pursue. But secondly, you also need to be thinking about the type of campus that you want to be involved in. UIC in Chicago with about 35,000 students, University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign with about 60,000 students. And then there's us, little small UIS with 4,600 students. It's a very different learning environment in a much smaller city with less distraction. So one of the things you need to think about is, do you like that big campus environment, or would you be better suited with a smaller campus with less distractions and things around the city? In case you're not familiar, the Midwest is where we are located. This is all the states that are considered part of the Midwest, with the state of Illinois located there. On the right here, you see where Springfield is located. It is the capital of the state. And so Chicago to the north is about a 3-hour drive or train ride. St. Louis to the south is about a 1.5-hour drive or train ride. And those are two of the main entry points for international students when they come to the US. All of our degrees are housed within these 4 colleges: the College of Business and Management, Health Science and Technology, Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, and Public Affairs and Education. We are a student-focused, problem-based learning institution. We are not a Research One university, and our faculty are hired primarily to teach. That is their primary function. Whereas at UIUC or UIC, faculty are actually hired to do research. So there's a different delivery that you'll experience in the classroom as well. Another factor that differentiates us is our student to faculty ratio. All of our classrooms are relatively small. You will not have a class with 600 or 700 students in a lecture hall. Most of them are going to be around 20 to 30 students in a classroom. So this gives more opportunity for students to engage directly with faculty members and learn from them. In terms of graduate programs, I want to designate at the top right of the screen, you'll see the key. Those that are underlined are STEM programs. The ones with double asterisks are online or on-campus programs, and any with a plus sign are only available online. We have been a leader in online education well before the pandemic happened as well. On the next page, this almost the same key, but the only doctorate program that we have is a doctorate in public administration. So a good range of opportunities for students to learn, and they tend to cascade out of that doctorate of public administration because most of our graduate degrees have something to do with public administration, as you can see from the list here. 2 QR codes for you to look at. One is just a static list of our catalog programs. The one on the right is our interactive, where you can actually select by a drop-down menu or by your graduate level, whether you want online or on campus, things of that nature. So those are opportunities for you to look into later. In terms of the admissions requirements, students would apply directly through our website, uis.edu/apply. We do require official transcripts that must be evaluated, and I'll talk a little bit about that in just a moment. We do require an English proficiency exam score that's admissible, and that score needs to come directly from the testing agency. And I'll show a list in just a moment of all the agencies that we accept scores from. The minimum GPA requirement for graduate admission is 2.5 on a 4.0 scale, but some programs have even higher GPA requirements. So some additional programs might require you to upload a resume or provide a writing sample or perhaps provide letters of recommendation. So once you submit the official application, then in your application portal, you'll see the checklist and what's required for your specific program that you applied for. The application fee is $75, and at UIS, we do not provide any kind of application fee waivers. There are no waivers available at UIS. Now, in terms of transcript evaluations, there are two options that you can choose from. One is to have one of our internal staff members evaluate your transcripts, and for that, there's a $150 fee. All your transcripts must be sent from your university directly to that email address that you see on screen there. Your second option is to request an evaluation by a NACCES member evaluation company. Some of those that we accept are educational credential evaluators, educational perspectives, international education evaluations, the evaluation company, which was previously known as Spantran, or World Education Services. You would have to pay their fees, meet their specific requirements, and then have them send us the official evaluation for your application. Here are some of the approved vendors that we utilize for English proficiency exams. I would recommend Duolingo as perhaps the best, maybe even the easiest to engage with. TOEFL and IELTS can be very complicated. We've had very great success with students who took the Duolingo test. And on our website, you can find specific score requirements for each of those types of test scores. And again, the scores must come directly from the testing agency to that email address found on screen. And the QR code that you see links you to this English proficiency requirement page. The entire list of admissions requirements are on this QR code, but the deadlines to submit an application and begin one is May 15th for the fall semester. And for the spring semester, you must submit an application by November 15 of each year. Now, once you submit the application by that deadline, you can continue to complete application requirements beyond that date. That's just the date that we need you to submit the application. In terms of graduate funding, we have assistantships on campus. These are very competitive and they are not guaranteed. They do provide a tuition waiver of up to 30 credit hours, as well as a monthly stipend for students. The application deadline is that you must be admitted by March 1st for the first round of evaluation. And for the spring semester, you must be admitted by November 1st. Now, besides assistantships, we also offer graduate public service internships. These are also very competitive, but they are with organizations or Springfield government offices throughout the Springfield community. So they are not inside of the university. For these opportunities, they offer 24 credit hours of tuition waiver and then a monthly stipend as well. But there's a caveat to this program is that to be eligible for one of these internships, students need to have at least 1 year of enrollment in a United States university. That can be our university or some other. So if you're only applying to UIS, you would need to be enrolled for 1 year before you would be eligible for participating in one of these internships. Now, in terms of total cost of attendance, this would include tuition fees, housing, food, books, insurance, all the expenses related to being on campus in Springfield. At the graduate level, it's approximately $39,000 per year of attendance. In order to obtain your I-20, which allows you to then schedule your visa interview, you would need to demonstrate $38,000 in assets. Now, what's interesting is regardless of which of the three universities you attend or which you graduate from, you are earning a University of Illinois degree. This is a sample diploma and what it looks like. And in very small print under that University of Illinois banner, it says, and upon recommendation of the Senate at Springfield or Urbana-Champaign or Chicago. So it doesn't matter which university you attend, you are earning a world-class education from the University of Illinois system. So keep that in mind as you move forward. We also provide various student supports and services like academic advising and support. We have a full-fledged library with both print and digital media resources. We offer a lot of research support for graduate students, and those are primarily handled by the faculty members themselves. Tech support and help desk, all these things that a typical student would need, including licensed professionals who work in the health services department. And if you should need any counseling services, these are all provided and available to you on campus as well. We have a lot of recreation activities. Our campus is located next to Lake Springfield. So we have activities not only on the lake, but on campus, as well as other activities that we take students to off campus, whether it's snow skiing or hiking or camping, many other things that we try to keep students involved with. Here are 2 QR codes for student life and for campus recreation as well, if you would like to look into those later. And then as far as residence life and housing, our upper division undergraduate students as well as graduate students have the option to live in townhouses and apartments. These are fully furnished, very nice facilities, and they also have kitchens, but provide private bedrooms for each student with shared bathroom facilities. So students are able to prepare meals for themselves if they'd like to, or there's living spaces where they can share time together. Here's a QR code for our accommodations and housing options. And then finally, how to apply and the application steps. On the left side, if you scan that QR code, these are the steps for completing the application. On the right side are the international application steps. And then if you have any follow-up questions for me, this is my email address, international-admissions@uis.edu. When you email me at this address, I'm then able to communicate with you directly, and it's retained in our database system so we can track our communications with you. So with that, I will take some questions, and I thank you for your attention. And I'll go back to this slide. I'll leave my email address there as I begin to look at the questions.
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Spark, as Laura mentioned, and I'm the Assistant Dean for Admissions Enrollment in the Grad College at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. And I'm thrilled to be with you here today to share what makes the Urbana campus at Illinois such an exciting place to study, especially at the graduate level. I'll walk you through what student life is like, the strengths of our programs, how to apply, and ultimately why Illinois might be the right next step for you. So we'll start today with why Illinois stands out, what makes it unique. Then I'll highlight our graduate programs and the areas where Illinois really shines. After that, I'll take you through the admissions process and funding opportunities, and we'll finish with student life and support for international students. My goal is for you to walk away today with a clear sense of what it's like to be part of the Illinois community in Urbana. As we go along, I'll also point out a few practical tips, things like when to begin your application, what documents you're going to need for a student visa, and where to find help once you're admitted. And as I understand, I think all of you are joining from Mexico, and you will see that Illinois doesn't expect you to navigate this process alone. Offices like our International Student and Scholar Services and the Graduate College where I work provide dedicated advisors who will truly guide you through each step from your first inquiry all the way up to your first week on campus. and then all the way till graduation. So why does Illinois stand out? Illinois has a long tradition of excellence in research, innovation, and impact. Our faculty and students are behind many of the discoveries that have shaped modern life. For example, Illinois was the birthplace of the first graphical web browser, the foundation of the internet as we know it today. We've pioneered work in material science, agriculture, and data analytics that continues to change industries around the world. Our campus blends cutting-edge research with a culture that genuinely supports exploration and growth. When we say impact, we mean results you can see, like startups launched through what we call Research Park on our campus, and innovations licensed to major companies worldwide. Many graduate students get involved in these projects as part of their research assistantships or internships, gaining hands-on experience that complements their academic work. Students come here to challenge ideas, to build, to design, and to test, all within a community that encourages fresh perspectives and collaboration across disciplines. We are proud to have a vibrant campus right here at the heart of Illinois, where ideas, cultures, and disciplines can come together, whether that means launching a new technology, deepening public understanding, or advancing policy that makes a difference. And most importantly, we are a global community that values every student. You'll find a welcoming environment where you can truly belong and thrive. Let me share a bit more about who we are. So the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign is a world-class research university and a global leader in innovation. We are consistently ranked as one of the top 5 public research universities in the United States. We have a strong focus on interdisciplinary collaboration. Our scientists work with artists, our engineers with social scientists, and our educators with technologists. That spirit of openness and exchange is really what drives discovery here. We are also very proud of our global outlook. Illinois students and faculty come from every corner of the world, and that diversity enriches everything we do. It ensures that ideas are challenged, perspectives are broadened, and solutions are truly global in scope. To give you a sense of scale, our campus hosts more than 50 research centers and institutes and partnerships with leading universities and companies across the globe. Illinois also has long-standing collaborations with institutions in Mexico through exchange programs and research agreements. Many of our alumni now hold leadership roles at Mexican universities, research institutes, and major corporations. That means when you graduate, you're joining a community that already extends into your professional networks back home. And because our alumni stay engaged, you'll find mentorship, job leads, and connections wherever your career takes you. As Illinois is a place where our degrees are recognized and respected worldwide, opening doors to careers in academia, industry, and government. Wherever you go, being an Illinois graduate means being part of a powerful international network. Our programs. We offer an incredible range of graduate opportunities, truly something for everyone. Illinois is home to over 20,000 graduate students, enrolled in over 190 master's degree programs, over 90 doctoral programs, and we also have a little over 50 fully online graduate degrees now. That breadth means that you can pursue almost any field imaginable, from computer science, engineering, business, education, the arts, and the social sciences. We also have over 2,500 graduate faculty who are not only experts in their fields, but are deeply committed to mentoring their students. Most of our programs also encourage students to combine interests. For example, a student might pair a degree in engineering with coursework in public policy or business, or a design student might work with faculty in computer science on user experience research. That kind of flexibility is something that Illinois does really well. As I believe you are all joining from Mexico, this means that your background and experiences bring unique value to your research group or your classroom discussions. Our faculty deeply appreciate the global perspectives that international students bring, and you'll find that collaboration across cultures is part of everyday academic life here. At the website listed here, you'll find a list of all of our graduate programs. And on each program page, you'll find a list of contact information for that program, usually a specific contact name, as well as their website for admissions. Each graduate program website will include information about degree options, admissions requirements, and any funding opportunities that they may have. Whatever your field, you'll find the flexibility, mentorship, and resources to truly grow your expertise. So why do so many students choose Illinois? First, our reputation for research excellence is recognized globally. You'll be part of groundbreaking discoveries and projects that can really make a difference. Second, we're known for our collaborative and supportive culture. Graduate school can be demanding, but here you'll find faculty and peers who truly want you to succeed. Third, our international student community is large. It's very large. We're usually in the top 5 for having international students across the country. And we are very welcoming and active in keeping that community thriving. There are countless opportunities to get involved, meet people from around the world, and really feel at home. Illinois has more than 1,600 registered student organizations, including the Mexican Student Association, the Latinx Graduate Student Association, and the International Student Advisory Council, all great ways to meet peers, celebrate culture, and find support. Finally, Illinois offers exceptional facilities and resources, from supercomputers and research labs to writing centers and career services, all designed to help you reach your full potential. Now let's look at how to apply. Step 1, select your program. Each program is going to have its own set of requirements and deadlines, so it's really important to review those carefully. Step 2, review GPA and admissions criteria, which you'll find on those individual program websites. So the graduate college does set minimum criteria, and we're going to go over that in just a little bit. But graduate programs may set higher or additional requirements, so it's important to know both. Step 3, start preparing your application early, uploading your transcripts, requesting letters of recommendation. Finally, double check those deadlines. I know I keep saying deadlines, but it's so important to be aware of the specific deadlines for any of the proposed programs that you may be applying to. It's important to know that some programs close as early as December 1, especially in STEM fields. Applying early helps ensure your materials are reviewed on time. This website listed here, you'll find all the details and links, which provide a clear sort of step-by-step instructions. There's FAQs, and in these instructions, you'll actually find everything that you would ever have to list on the application. It'll tell you all the required information you're going to have to provide, all the required documents you're going to have to upload. It will even give you the exact prompts for your academic and personal statement essays that you're going to be expected to complete. Take some time to review these prompts and prepare drafts. It is always good to seek feedback from others on your essays and to have someone assist you in proofreading. But remember at the end of the day that these are your essays and they should convey your experiences and goals. And if you have any questions as you're going through the process, don't hesitate to reach out to your proposed program of study, because that's why they're there. They're there to help you through that process. For international students, there are a few additional steps. So you'll need to provide proof of English proficiency. We accept the TOEFL, the IELTS, and the Duolingo. You must also hold a bachelor's degree equivalent with strong grades. What that really means is that you would need to come from an accredited institution, and we typically require the 4-year bachelor's degree from students in Mexico, with a GPA of your last 2 years of undergrad study being above an 80%. International students are not generally eligible for an application fee waiver. However, we have partnered with the I-MMAS program to offer all of you attending today to receive an application fee waiver if you choose to apply to the Urbana campus. Most of you would need a student visa to come, and so you'll need to provide us with a copy of your passport and proof of funding documentation so that we'd be able to issue you an I-20. The key advice here is simple. Start early, especially if you need to schedule language testing or gather translated transcripts. I also just want to add in here that our International Student and Scholar Services Office is an incredible resource once you're admitted. They'll guide you through every step of the visa process, offer pre-arrival webinars, and even organize orientation sessions once you arrive here in Urbana-Champaign. Funding is one of the most important parts of planning for graduate school, and Illinois invests heavily in its graduate students. In fact, about 79% of graduate students receive funding. That can include assistantships, fellowships, scholarships. Assistantships and fellowships, they will come with a stipend to help cover living expenses as well as a tuition waiver. Assistantships, which are generally teaching or research assistantships, not only provide financial support but also valuable professional experience. It's important to note that the cost of living in Urbana-Champaign is much lower than major U.S. cities, which makes your funding go quite a bit further. You can explore details on the funding site that is listed here, but I also encourage you to reach out to your proposed programs of study early on to ask about what funding options are available. Now let's talk about what life is like on campus. Illinois has an active international student community with students from more than 140 countries. Whether you want to join a cultural association, play in an intramural sports league, volunteer, or attend one of our many campus events, there's always something to do. Our international community hosts frequent cultural nights, film screenings, and social gatherings that make it easy to build friendships and feel at home. For many international students, these activities become one of the best ways to build friendships. For many of these activities, it becomes some of the best ways to, meet new students and connect with students you might not otherwise meet if they're not in your particular program of study. We have an International Education Week. Taste of Culture is a fun event that we do. We have Graduate Student Appreciation Week. These are some different highlights of the major events that we do each year, and they really bring the whole campus together. There are on-campus and off-campus housing options, and the overall environment, I would say, is very inclusive, welcoming, and friendly. Graduate life here really tries to balance rigorous academics, but with a real sense of community. We understand that graduate school can be both exciting, but also challenging. And Illinois is deeply committed to supporting your success every step of the way. You'll have access to academic advising and mentoring, writing and professional development workshops, and wellness and counseling services. We believe that maintaining balance and mental health is key to academic success. Another important aspect of support is overall professional growth. The Graduate College offers workshops on academic and non-academic careers, resume and CV preparation, and interviewing. We also hold networking events and employer sessions tailored specifically to international students, helping you explore opportunities both in the U.S. and abroad. Overall, know that there are countless resources there to help you succeed academically and personally. You're never going to be navigating this process alone. Our location also makes us special. So Urbana-Champaign is a funny thing. So we call it University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. But if you come here, you'll find that we actually call it Champaign-Urbana. They are two different cities. They're a pair of friendly, if you will, student-centered twin cities. The line that separates the two cities goes right through the middle of our campus. And we have a vibrant mix of culture and, what's important, affordability. We are consistently ranked among one of the best college towns in the U.S., and once you visit, you'll understand why. It's a friendly, student-centered community with affordable housing, easy transportation. We have an amazing bus system that literally goes everywhere in Champaign-Urbana, and a really lively arts and food scene. You'll find cuisines from around the world, local farmers markets, music festivals, art fairs, and easy access to nature trails all year long. Urbana-Champaign offers practical advantages for graduate students. Most housing is within walking or biking distance of campus, and that public transportation I mentioned, the bus system, is included in your student fees. So you'll get what's called an I-card, and all you have to do is show your I-card, which is your student ID card, and you can take that bus anywhere as much as you'd like for free. Many students appreciate how easy it is to balance research and recreation here. You can go from your lab or library straight to a local cafe or a festival or a park in minutes. For international students, this environment generally makes adjusting to life in the U.S. smoother. You can focus on your studies without having to worry about long commutes or high living costs. And if you ever want a quick getaway, Chicago is just a few hours away. You can take a train or drive up. It's literally about 2 hours north, and that way you can get a quick getaway for even more cultural and professional opportunities. Urbana-Champaign ultimately is a safe and welcoming community where you can focus, connect, and really feel at home. We like to say it's the perfect balance of big city resources with small town warmth and safety. Now I want to bring us back to the application process and discuss the timeline that you'll need to keep in mind.
You
When it
have
comes,
1 minute.
okay,
1 minute
almost done.
left.
When it comes to applying, timing's everything. So basically, applications open up about a year before classes start. So you want to start by researching your programs and your faculty, reviewing funding options, taking your English proficiency test, and begin talking with those potential references. And you'll want to submit that application well before the deadline to avoid any last minute stress. Deadlines for the fall term are most commonly in December and January. After you apply, departments will review. You'll typically receive admission offers in the early spring for the following fall. After you're admitted, you'll be able to review offers. If you accept, begin the process for applying for a visa, making housing and travel arrangements. Just a couple tips. Again, start early, stay organized. Remember that a strong application tells your story clearly and authentically. Start by tailoring your application essays, connect your background, your experience to the goals of the program you're applying to, highlight experiences that show leadership, initiative, and research potential, and choose recommenders who know your work well, who can speak to your skills, your character, and your potential for success. Ultimately, why choose us? It's a place where you can find world-class academics, innovative research, and a welcoming global community. You'll work side by side with some of the brightest minds in the world. We'll give you the tools, the support, and inspiration to turn your ideas into impact. And when you choose Illinois, you're choosing opportunity, growth, and a lifelong network that spans the globe. My last slide here is really, I just want to encourage you to take some time after today to explore Illinois by visiting this website listed here. You can dive further into the different programs that we offer, funding information, stories from current students and alumni. It's really a great way to sort of picture yourself at Illinois and to take that first step towards joining our amazing community. So thank you for listening to me, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. And you can also always reach out to us at grad@illinois.edu, and we'd be happy to connect you with the right resources.